Welcome guys to MathTech once again, and I am glad to have you guys here. And in this video, I'll be teaching us how to build a simple blog website. Take a look at it. It's a MathTech blog website. This is not our website, it's just for practical purpose. And the content of this website is not interactive. There's no JavaScript in this lesson, just strictly HTML and CSS, how to make a website visual and beautiful. But before I kickstart showing us how to build this simple blog website, please, I would like you to look below the video, hit the subscribe button and subscribe to MathTech channel. Like the video. If you have any challenge in the process of watching this video, drop your questions in the comments section and also your contribution, and don't forget to share this video to others. Thank you so much. So back to building the blog website, simple blog website. I've already created my folder, which is the MathTech practical, and my files are there for my CSS and my HTML, also the picture I want to be using. But for those who are having challenge in creating a folder, this is what I'll tell you to do. Simple. How do you make a folder in your VS Code? Now, your PC, you go to your PC, right click there, then you see new, see folder. So you can see your practical. So I'm saving this folder as your practical. So I've saved the folder. Then you go back to your VS Code. Now at this point, my folder is not being, none of my files have been activated here. So you can come here and say open folder. Open folder. So it's on my desktop. So you see your practical. You select the folder, enter. Select the folder, and this is how you create a folder. Then creating a file, you see the icons there besides your folder, the new file. You can say code.html, code.html, enter. But this is not what we are doing, and I'm just showing us this for those who are not familiar with this. So quick, let's go to business. So I'll use my folder, MathTech practical. So this is the folder I'll be using, and I'll start with the HTML. So I'll be writing my HTML code. Okay, I've already written something already, so I'm deleting everything. So I was starting from the beginning to explain to us on how I built that website with just my HTML and my CSS. First thing we do, we declare latest version of HTML, which is HTML5. So the doc type. Yeah. We've done our declaration. So we go to our root element, which is the HTML elements. And so we set the attributes, the language attributes here to be English. It's not really serious. It's not really needed, but we just have to do it. So we go on. The next will be our head section. So you see, this is an updated VS Code. Before, you don't have to put the tags. You just type what you want and it displays immediately. You enter. It makes the work pretty easier. So now let's give the information that is supposed to be in our head tag. And we'll be starting with our meta information. So the meta information. So we start with the character, which is a chassis, and we set it to the correct standard, which is the UTF-8 standard. The UTF-8 standard. And this is the updated standard that allows us symbols and characters to function in your website. So after that, we see go under our meta information, we have the meta name. So the attributes name, set it to viewports. It helps us for the zooming of our website. viewports. Okay. Oh, sorry. And also same in the name, we give a space, and the contents, we use it width equal to device width. But these are not really necessary. I'm just doing this. So these are not really necessary. This is just a simple practical. So you don't have to be too excited about this. Then the next step, we take our initial scale. Okay, sorry, it's supposed to be inside here. Initial scale. And we set it to 1. So I think that's it for the meta information. And now we will go to the title of the website, which you will see at the top of your browser there. So we'll go to the title information, and the title is what? MathTech blog. So I think for now we are done with the head information. Now let's go to the body of the website. Now note this. The head information, aside from the title that shows as a description of your website, every other information in the head tag doesn't show in your website. So please note and learn that. So now the next is the body information. Now let me divide my screen so that we can get both. Okay, so now let's take a view at the website. The first part of the website here, we see that this is a header. So we use the header tag. So we use the header tag here. We use the header tag, and you see that in the header, we are having the heading, which is a MathTech blog, and we are having a paragraph there. So we do same thing, but since this is just like the major heading, which is a MathTech blog, so we have to use the H1 tag. The H1 tag, it is more important. This is what this website is talking about, the MathTech blog. So it should be appreciated, seen as the most important word there. So we use the H1 tag, and we go with MathTech blog. And so the next thing for the paragraph, you use the paragraph, the P tag, and we say mathematics, programming, and tech made simple. So I think we are done with our header. So we can save this and open it in our live server, which can also use the shortcut alternate L, alternate O. We've saved and it's opening. Okay, this is it in our live server. So we've seen this is our header. So let's go back, continue our work, stay under the body, which is what the website contains. We can see that here we are having a navigator, like navigators. We have here the home, we have the articles, we have the tutorials, we also have the contacts. So how did I get this line? So we'll use the nav tag. The nav tag. Using the nav tag. Now, don't forget that in a website, when we are having these navigations, most times these these contents here are links. Clicking on the home, it might take you to another web page or interface. Also, same for the article, same for the tutorial. But in this tutorial, I won't be stressing much on that. So we'll just be doing this quick and straight. I'll be using a link, but to be an empty link. It will not be leading you to any website or interface. So quickly, we start the Href. And you can just use a hashtag there, and we can say, okay, it's complete now. The link elements, which is the a tag, and the attributes here, the href. So what's supposed to be inside of this should be what? Home. Say home. So the next, just copy this line. Sorry, I think. Oh, sorry. Copy this line, paste, Ctrl V, and you see the next one, we change it to article. From home, we change it to article. Articles. Okay, same. Next line, we paste, we change it to tutorials. Same, next line, we paste, we change it to contacts. Sorry. Okay, I think I made a mistake there. So contacts. And I think we are done with our navigations, which is this part of the website whereby we are seeing a line here where we are having the home tab, we are having the home, we are having the articles, the tutorials, and also the contacts. We are done. So let's save and see what we have. Let's save and see what we have in our. Okay, why it's still loading? Okay, see, these are navigations. The home, the articles, the tutorials, and the cons and the contacts. So we are done with that, and let's go to the next part of the website. Take a view of that. Now the next part of the website is going to be the body, the main body of the website. That is, what are we blogging about? What is this blog all about? Now the first blog is why you should learn programming in 2025. So firstly, before we do that, we have to use the div elements. We have to use the div element because looking at this website, let me give you a full show of it. Now this is a block of code. Now you see that what the divs help you to do is it helps you to separate the content inside the div from every other content in the body. But let's do that immediately and see what we have. So the div, let's use the div tag, and so still that we see use a section tag here. Section tag, because this is actually a section, if you see. But when I'm done with the website, I think we'll understand it better. But before I go further, I would like to add a class to this so that it helps me while I'm doing my styling. So I will add a class to this class, and I name my class container. I'll name my class container. Also in my section parts, in my section element, I'll also add a class to that, and I'll name my class blog posts. Blog posts. Okay, so now under my section elements, I will have to create another div. I'll create another div, and this is where I will then put my write-ups. So also in this, I'll also create a class in this div, and I'll call the class post. I'll call the class post. So let's see what we have under this class post. So now the first thing we'll have here is, the first blog here is why you should learn programming in 2025. But for me to make this work easier, I did a write-up. I had to copy this write-up and paste it in my notepad, which I'll be using here also. But before then, let me introduce my H2 tag. Now, we've used the H1 tag to identify what this blog website is all about, which is what the MathTech blog. So now, this is another heading, which is why you should learn programming in 2025. We are not meant to use the H1 tag again, because the most appreciated heading here is what the title heading, which is what the MathTech blog. So you should use a lesser heading element, which is what the H2 or H3 elements. But I prefer using the H2 element in this case. So I'll be using the H2 element. Then let me copy and paste from my notepad why we should learn programming in 2025. So paste why we should learn programming in 2025. Same. After the heading, you see some lines here, paragraph. So the paragraph, the p tag, copy same also. So we've done for that, and that is for the first div. Because if you see, this is another section. If you see, there's a box that separates this from the second blog and also from the third blog. So the div helps us put our lines of code intact. But when I'm done with this, you will see the result of this website. So I'll have to create another div section so I can also fix in the second blog. So my H2 tag again comes up. So I go to my notepad and copy what I have for the second H2 tag, understanding basic algebra. Understanding basic algebra. Say my paragraph tag. So what we have here. So I paste it there. And I think that is for the second. This is for the second blog, understanding basic algebra. Now let's do for the last one, which is the third blog. Create another div section. And our H2 tag for the header. So we go also. We copy. And we paste. And also the paragraph. So we go copy from what we have from the paragraph. We paste. And we've successfully done this, and it's a nice job so far. So let's save and view it in our live server. What we've done so far. Wow, this is what we've done so far. So have you seen the work of the div elements? Now the div helps us to separate the first blog from the second blog, and also the second blog from the third blog. So the div element is a very powerful element. And the section element also helps us put all our blog in one section. The section element you see under a div element. So I think this is a great class so far. So let's round up. We will not go too far. What I will do is that I have the CSS of this website already written down. I'll only explain through the CSS and give a link straight to the CSS, and we'll see how this turns out to be beautiful. But I think in a special class, I'll also do a website where I won't explain much of the HTML, but I will explain more of the CSS. So let's round up with this. Back to our website. So now let's go down to the footer. The footer. Since we have gotten our first blog, second blog, and our third blog, let's go down to the footer. So the footer now will be beneath your div section. The footer will be beneath your div section. That is your general div section. Footer. And what do we have in our footer? We have a line of paragraph there in our footer. It's a paragraph. I think I have this written down already in my notepad. So yes, I think I have this written down already in my notepad. So Ctrl C. And I have this written down already in my notepad. So that's simple. So that's it for the footer, and it's nothing really difficult. C to save and see in a live server. Okay, we can see this here. But I would have loved us, instead of saying follow at MathTech, I would say follow MathTech on YouTube. Okay, follow MathTech. Okay, follow MathTech. I'll put a YouTube icon there. Then at MathTech, which is our YouTube channel. So let me see to that immediately. So doing this, I will have to introduce the image tag and image tag. I think I'll have to copy this also. Copy. Yes. And paste. Sorry. I think that was a mistake there. That was a mistake there, but nothing much. Sorry, guys. So that's it. Alternate. You can say YouTube. YouTube. And I think that's what we'll be using. And I think that's it for that. That's it for that. Don't forget that the image tag is an empty tag. It only has an opening tag. It does not have a closing tag, and it does not have any elements right up contained in it. So this is just all about the image tag. So let's also Ctrl save and see what we have. Okay, so probably I might not style the, okay, I might probably style the image tag also, but it is not part of my CSS because I did not do that. I just got the idea while preparing for this video. So I think this is all we have done. This is all we have to do for our HTML. So the rest work goes to the CSS. So I'll go to the CSS. So this is all the CSS I use in styling this page, except for the icon of the YouTube. But this is all the CSS I use in styling this page. So what I will do now, I will show us on how to link our CSS with our HTML. So let's do that immediately. Real quick, let's do that. See under the header section, after the title section, we see use the link tag. So use the link tag. We see style sheets, href, and the name of this CSS file is what? Empty. Yes, empty.blog.css. So enter, and that is it. So let's Ctrl save. I say Ctrl save. Let's save our work, which is Ctrl S, and view it in our website. Wow. Wow. Okay. I think we are missing out on something. Now, do you observe something that it is only our first blog that was started. the second blog was not starred and the third blog was not starred. Why? It is because we only identified a class to the first blog, but there was no class identified to the second blog and also to the third blog. So we do that immediately. So we say class, and we call the class post. Also do it also to the third blog. We say class, and we call the class what? Post. And we control save and see what we have. This is also, we can now see that this our website is well styled. So what I have to do now is I will have to attach a class to our image tag. I have to attach a class. Okay. So what do I call my class? Let me say you do. You can give your class any name. So you do. So let me go now and give a styling to my, let me give a styling to my CSS. Let me give a styling to my, sorry, I'm a bit on a rush. So let me give a styling to my YouTube icon. So I'll say dot, I said you do, right? Yes, you do. Dot you do. And so I'll say height. I'll say 100 pixel. I'll say width 100 pixel. So let me see what I'll come up with. Okay. Okay, I think it's still big with the 100 pixel. So let me reduce it to 70 pixel for my height and width. Let me reduce it to 70 pixel. 70 pixel. Is it still big? Okay, very, very big. Let me make it. Let me make my width a 30 pixel and my height a 40 pixel. And see what I have there. Okay. So you can see follow our YouTube here at MathTech. But the only issue is that it doesn't align. It's still a good one like this, not really bad. But having all the time to do so, you can also work on that, fix it beneath there as an exercise. I think I'll still come to give a more explanation on my CSS. And I think while explaining my CSS in the next video, I'll get this fitted below. Same line here. So thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope you learned how to build a simple website just with your HTML and CSS. So a quick stroll through the CSS. We can see the asterisks, and we can see the styling we have here. The asterisk has to do with the entire website. How in mathematics you can call it universal. Some people might like to call it universal, and some people might call it the entire website. So just the entire website styling. And here we see for the body, we see for the header, the styling we use for the body here, the font family, the background color, the line, height. And we see the background color here, the color, the text align for the header one. So we see the header paragraph, we see the navigations, which is this. We see the way they are styled. And also for the container, the first div, the general div, also for the blog post, the sub divs, the post, which is also from the sections, every point. Just take your time to go through the CSS, while in our next video I will explain broadly on the CSS. Possibly I might write the CSS from the start and even to the finish. So I'll take a through again for the CSS, so that in case you want to pause, you can pause and study each lines. And we'll call it a wrap here so that we don't take much of your time. So thank you guys for watching this video. You see, you can possibly build a website in 30 minutes to an hour, and it will still be very beautiful. Just a simple website. So you can begin your personal training on building a website. And thank you guys for watching this video. And I am glad we all are here in MathTech. Please don't fail to like, share, and subscribe to MathTech. Thank you guys. And also don't forget our private tutoring services. You want to be a good mathematician? You want to be a programmer? Are you being challenged academically? You need an academic coach or an academic therapist? MathTech got you covered. And everything about science, we see gets you covered. Thank you so much. See you in our next video.